I always liked that self-portrait of Adelaide's mother, even if the eyes do always follow you around the room.
Do I ever change out of my clothes and actually sleep in the bed? I don't know. Haven't seen it happen yet.
Wouldn't you say it's time for a change of clothes, Miles? You've been wearing that coat for who knows how long.
So? Addie gave it to me. Besides, it gives me character.
Right. Brooding detective in a long black coat. That's never been seen before.
What are you talking about, Bill?
Never mind.
Never mind. He's got a point, Miles. But then again, he does need to fit a certain detective-y looking type. So, he's got you cornered on that one, Bill.
It's admirable just how organized Adelaide is. Maybe someday the same can be said about you.
So, you're up at last.
Is something the matter, Addie?
Oh, I see. You don't remember last night, do you? I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
I hope I didn't do anything stupid.
Please tell me I didn't do anything stupid last night.
No, I wouldn't use the word stupid.
Oh, thank God.
Disgusting and shameful would be more appropriate, I think.
Oh, what did I do exactly?
It was nearly 2 when you burst in here, soused to the eyeballs from God knows where. I imagine you've probably forgotten that too. You were muttering something about peace and quiet and then proceeded to relieve yourself on my begonias before stumbling into bed.
Charming. I salute you, O Vice Admiral of the Narrow Seas.
Good God, how embarrassing. I'm so sorry, Addie. I don't know what came over me.
I don't either. I've never seen you in such a state, and I pray that I never will again.
Well, it was a special occasion. I was finally alone with my thoughts. But then again, I shouldn't have overdone it. Only 1 drink was enough, Miles.
I just bit off more than I could chew last night. I promise you, it won't happen again.
What possessed you to go out and get so drunk anyway?
I decided to stop taking the soporific. It was interfering with my ability to focus on cases. I thought perhaps having a drink or 2 would help me sleep, and I got a bit carried away.
I see. Well, I'm at least glad you've stopped taking that terrible medicine. But trading it for alcohol? This had better really be a one-time occurrence. Anyway, you got another message from Upton. It's there on the table, if you're feeling fit for the world now.
Well, I should probably have a glass of water, but I feel fine. I'm sorry, Addie. I shouldn't have gotten wasted. I should have just had 1 or 2 drinks, not 15, for fuck's sake.
Addie?
What is it, Miles?
Addie, please know that I'm deeply sorry for my behavior last night. I'll do everything I can to make it up to you. Would you like me to get some new begonias?
I don't need pretty flowers or pretty words, Miles. I just want things to go back to how they were. That's really all the apology I require.
All right. Well, I do feel terrible about the flowers.
What have you been up to lately?
Nothing particularly exciting. My usual clients have been scheduling appointments, and I've been trying to get some new ones as well. In my free time, I've been catching up on my reading.
Anything good?
Yes, the conclusion to the dissembling mechanism was just published in Brentwell magazine last week.
What's that?
James Penstroke's latest serial. I wanted to read it to you, but you haven't been around much lately.
Perhaps I'll take a look now that I can actually concentrate again.
Yes, you could read it to me. I wouldn't mind hearing it again. It would certainly be a nicer way to spend your time than going out drinking.
Well, you could join me for a drink, but just one. You need to hold me down.
You're looking especially lovely today, Addie.
Miles, don't flirt with me. Not now.
I wouldn't push my luck with her, Miles. She hasn't completely forgiven you.
Well, maybe we just should back off. She seems a little miffed.
I'll let you get back to your book.
I don't want to push my luck with Addie. Harris baby found, suspect in custody. Charles Harris, infant son of Malcolm and Miriam Harris, was kidnapped days ago from his crib at the Harris family manor. Police investigators determined that Linda Walker, a friend of the baby's nanny, was the kidnapper. Walker was arrested in Pierre-Lorraine after fleeing New Britannia with the child. Charles is second in line to inherit the Harris Construction Company, a large contractor in New Britannia currently building the HMS Lenore. the airship intended to replace the fallen Ligeia. Chief of Police Reginald Snelling issued the following statement. My detectives should be commended for the outstanding work they did in finding baby Charles and bringing him home safely. Let this be a lesson to all criminals that the New Britannia police will always get their suspect. Ooh, I hope so. Oh my god. Gascon Grand Dame found burned to death. Yikes. Desiree Lathan was found burned to death in her home yesterday morning. The neighbors smell smoke, only to find a grisly scene. Miss Lathan in her bed, body burned to ashes. What the fuck is going on in this town? The circumstances are unknown. Police have not ruled out the possibility of foul play. Although she had many suitors over the years, Lathan never married. An avid reader, writer, and poet, Miss Lathan had several articles published in local newspapers and magazines. They would miss seeing her in her brightly colored hats and dresses. Interesting. Third mysterious murder has police on edge, so the press did find out about the third murder. And they're all happening in Chumley, apparently. Chief of Police denied that there is a mass murderer stalking the shadowy corners of Lamplight City. There is one though. There is a mass murderer. The Gazette has learned that the latest victim is Ennis Bowditch, a construction worker. Were called to his home, where they found him with a single gunshot wound to the head. The previous two victims have also been men in Chumley who have been killed in exactly the same manner. The Gazette will continue coverage of this story. And some election night looming. Prime Minister Herbert Atwood. Very well. Fordham. A new case has come in, but the police are already investigating. Details have made their way into the newspaper. I won't be able to meet you at the Rouen. So here are the details. The deceased is Desiree Lathan. Oh yeah, we read about her. It's the Grand Dame. Her apartment is here. Okay, so we can't meet Upton.
Huh.
What does Upton say this time?
That she can't meet me, and that I should go straight to the scene of the crime.
I wonder if that means the police have started to suspect that she's giving you these cases.
She also says news of this case has been made public, and the police are already investigating. That explains the article in the newspaper.
Which one?
The one about Desiree Lathan, the woman who was found burnt to death.
Ugh, that sounds absolutely dreadful. Where's the crime scene?
840 Right Way. It's not too far from here, thankfully.
You're sure you're feeling up to this today?
I'll be fine. The mental exercise will get me back to normal in no time. Well, this is shaping up to be quite the investigation. I should probably get a move on before the police ruin the crime scene any more than they already have.
Good luck, Miles. And stay away from the bars, would you?
Desiree Lathan was found burned to ashes under mysterious circumstances. Was it an accident or is something more sinister afoot? Let's investigate her apartment. Oh, I dislike the fact that Addie is mad with me. I don't like her being mad at me. Just for curiosity's sake, I'm just gonna try and compliment her again and see how mad she gets.
Addie?
What is it, Miles?
Oh, we can talk about this.
Was Desiree Lathan a client of yours by any chance?
No, but plenty of the other grand dames used to gossip about her.
What sort of things would they say?
Usually they'd comment about how much she'd had to drink the night before. I got the impression she was quite the tippler. I hope you're not planning on following her example.
That would require me to burn to death in our bed.
Then I stand by my previous statement.
Please let me see that beautiful smile of yours, Addie.
That's enough, Miles. If you're just going to stand there and throw meaningless words at me, you're better off not saying anything at all.
But...
Stop it. I'm trying my best to move past this. Don't make it worse.
Yep, she's really mad at us. I will reload. I was just curious. Alright, the game is afoot. Time to see why she burned to death.
I'm heading out for now.
I wish you'd let me fix your hair before you go out like that.
It'll be fine.
Man, just let her. She's the best hairdresser. You might as well let her do it.
Looks as though we've arrived fashionably late.
Excuse me, sir, but this is an active crime scene. We can't allow members of the public.
Oh, this isn't just any member of the public, Kane. This is Miles Fordham. He used to be one of us until he got his partner killed.
Wonderful. Officer Parsons is on the scene. It's a shock the apartment isn't in a shambles.
Good day to you too, officers.
Fordham? What are you doing here?
Ah, Captain Snelling. What a pleasure.
That's Chief Snelling now, Fordham. I don't expect you follow the workings of the department much these days, but I'd appreciate the proper address.
So nice to see that power hasn't gone to his head.
My apologies, Chief Snelling.
You haven't answered my question. What in blazes are you doing here?
I figured investigating the crime would actually give it a chance of being solved. Should I go with snarky or, believable? Let's try snarky. It's more me.
You want this crime solved, don't you? I'm conducting my own query. I could be an asset to your investigation.
Out of the question! This is an active crime scene, Fordham. Leave the premises immediately.
Let's be honest, Snelling. You could use my help on this.
I see your resignation hasn't done much to curb your arrogance. We don't need any help. Not even from former detectives. Parsons, I'm going back to the station. I want you to report the minute you're done here. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, don't get any funny ideas, Fordham. If you so much as breathe on anything in here, I'll have you arrested for tampering with a crime scene. Do I make myself clear?
Sure, whatever you say, Chief.
Keep your nose where it belongs, or you'll have me to answer to.
I suppose it's reassuring that even in this crazy, ever-changing world, you can always count on Snelling to be a complete ass.
You heard the chief. No snooping around. The sooner you get out of here, the better for all of us.
Yeah, but he still let me be in here for some reason. So let's snoop. I promise I won't breathe on things. How about that?
An invitation to the Gascon Grand Dame's Ball. It seems it was held 2 nights ago at the Gascon Supper Club. Might be worth looking into, seeing as it's our only lead right now.
Yeah. It's a little annoying that I have these bozos around, checking out my every move.
You have to hand it to her. Miss Lathan certainly had a unique taste in fashion. I bet you could see her coming a mile away.
What, because she wears pastel blue and pink? Beige? Peach?
Definitely too young to be Miss Lathan. Perhaps a relative?
Perhaps a dead relative.
No title. I doubt it's a diary. People rarely leave those things laying out in the open.
That's a nice couch.
Judging by these books, Miss Lathan was quite the fan of poetry. Let's just hope her taste was better than Madame Dupre's.
Oh, don't remind me.
Judging by these books, let's just hope her taste...
I imagine you're not gonna let me in the bedroom where the body is.
Excuse me, Officer Parsons.
Clear off, Fordham. The chief doesn't want you here, and neither do I. You aren't on the force anymore, so you've got to respect the rules, just like every other citizen.
He'd be respecting my fist if I were alive, believe me.
I'm not trying to cause any trouble. I just want to ask a few questions.
Well, if it will get you to leave faster.
Ooh, what a set of mutton chops. How you doing, mate?
You're looking well these days, Parsons. What's your secret?
Secret? I don't know. Maybe something about getting a good night's sleep without blood on my hands does wonders.
I didn't do any of that. Well, what would you have done in my shoes, ass?
What can you tell me about Desiree Lathan?
Nothing.
Because you don't know?
No, because I'm not going to betray Chief Snelling's orders and divulge that information to the public.
Come on, Parsons, you know me. What harm would it do to tell me just a little bit?
Do I have to state the obvious? If it were up to me, you'd be in jail for murdering an officer.
I wouldn't make such claims without knowing the facts, Parsons. It could get you in serious trouble. It'd be a real tragedy to see your career cut short and you back in the workhouse polishing airship rivets.
You don't scare me, Fordham.
Rest assured, the feeling is mutual. Have you made much progress on this investigation?
Did you not hear me the first time, Fordham? Drop it before I have to arrest you for interfering with a police investigation.
Dude, I'm only asking questions. Everybody's so mean to me. My partner died, and I'm suffering.
How long has Officer Kane been on the force?
I'm not one to gossip, Fordham.
That's only the second most hypocritical thing I've heard today.
Ask him yourself if you're so interested.
Why was Chief Snelling here anyway?
He's the chief of police, and this is an official investigation. It doesn't take a grand leap of logic.
Yes, but the Chief of Police never bothers with a crime scene unless it's of great importance.
Your point?
Does that mean this crime scene is, in fact, of great importance?
You're the investigator, Fordham. I'll leave you to work that one out.
That's all I wanted to know.
Good.
I guess I did work it out. You suck, Parsons. Let's see how much Kane is gonna suck.
Begging your pardon, officer.
Yes, what is it, sir?
He seems blissfully new.
How long have you been on the force, officer?
2 months, sir.
And how's it treating you so far?
This is where I was meant to be.
That's good to hear.
Parsons mentioned you used to be a detective?
I was, yes, for 15 years. It wasn't always easy, but I loved every minute of it.
Parsons goes on about how he's got his eye on becoming a detective, but I don't know if I'd be able to handle it.
Is that right?
Yes, he's up for review. I think he's trying to impress Snelling to improve his chances.
Parsons wants to be a detective? Now I've heard it all. As if he needed more of a reason to be Snelling's lapdog.
Do you enjoy working with Officer Parsons?
I don't like to talk about my colleagues, sir.
I see.
Especially when they're standing right over there.
I understand. Perhaps this isn't the right time to be asking. What was Chief Snelling doing here?
Nothing more than a routine inspection of the crime scene.
Routine inspection? But the Chief of Police only goes to extremely high-profile crime scenes.
I couldn't possibly comment on that, sir.
Interesting. So, the Chief of Police has an interest in this investigation.
Is there anything you can tell me about Desiree Lathan?
I'm afraid not. You don't have clearance in this investigation.
And there's nothing I can say to convince you otherwise?
My superiors would be very upset if they knew I was breaking the rules. I'm sorry.
I think the operative phrase in this instance is if they knew. We need to find a way to get Parsons out of here. Maybe we should visit Upton at the station.
Yeah, definitely. We need to get rid of that bozo.
Thanks for your time, officer.
Not a problem.
Not a problem. Well, at least he seems nice.
The bedroom is probably full of clues. We need to find a way to get in there.
Yep. Upton, we need to talk. Police station, we might as well go to the supper club as well, since we got a tiny lead out of that.
That painting depicts a hand dropping a bunch of blood-soaked silver coins into another hand. Definitely sets the bar for the type of people who come here, I'd say. The bridge to Lyon overlooking the House of Parliament. I suppose that seeing that helps the patrons of this club put on airs.
Oh boy. I know I promised Addie not to go to a bar, but it's the case. I have to.
Nobody's bothered clearing this table yet, it seems.
Don't tell Addie I'm here.
These are all high-end foo-foo liqueurs and cordials. You couldn't pay me to drink that rubbish.
Well, you could. And then you can go and drink some actual good stuff.
These are all high-end
Foo-foo liqueurs.
Excuse me, miss?
Oh, well, hello there, handsome. I've never seen you around here before. Care to join me for a drink?
You seem to be already quite a drunk.
Thank you, but I'm on duty.
On duty? What are you, a cop?
Force of habit. I'm a private investigator, actually.
Oh, not much better, if you ask me.
The name's Miles Fordham, and you are?
Charlotte Robineau.
Pleasure. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions?
I suppose not. It would help pass the time.
Were you here for the Grand Dame's ball the other night?
Of course, we all were. Well, except for Laura. Terrible business.
You mean Laura Dupre?
The very same. Have you met?
I have. In fact, I investigated her attempted murder.
Is that right? I heard she ended up in jail for torturing her servants.
Yes, it was quite disturbing.
I didn't think Laura was capable of such a thing. She always seemed so kind. I guess we all have our dark secrets.
Does that apply to you as well, Miss Robineau?
If I told you, then it would no longer be a secret, would it?
Fair point.
Well, I think your dark secret is that you secretly hammer down a couple of bottles of wine a day.
Do you know Desiree Lathan?
I knew her, yes.
When did you last speak to her?
Oh, it's been ages. She and I haven't had much to do with each other for a while.
Why is that?
It's really not important. We just didn't see eye to eye on a few things.
Was she at the Grand Dame's ball?
Yes, she was. Drinking up a storm, as usual. Desi really knew how to enjoy herself.
How much did she drink?
Oh, I don't know. She used to outmatch me, and I can handle quite a bit.
You know, we read something at the Spectre Society. Something about spontaneous human combustion. That was kind of fueled by alcohol, a lot of alcohol in the body. Is that what happened to her? I guess we'll see, but it's definitely kind of pointing towards that direction.
What can you tell me about Desiree's death?
Just what I've read in the papers. She burned to death. It's horrible. She certainly didn't deserve to die in such a gruesome way.
Did she have any enemies? Anyone who might have wanted to do her harm?
No. Everyone loved her.
Except you?
Mr. Fordham, I said we haven't had much to do with each other. That doesn't mean I didn't care for her. Now please, let's drop the subject.
Tell me a little about yourself.
Why, Mr. Fordham, I hardly know you. Well, that said, I'm always open to making new friends.
Ooh, watch out, Miles. I think she's getting ready to pounce.
Ooh, I think you should get ready to dodge. Oh boy. Do we have to do this? Your hair is quite lovely. Smile.
I must compliment you on your lovely hairstyle.
Oh, how sweet of you to say. Though it is getting a bit ragged. I'm having it done this afternoon, in fact. My girl Adelaide is a treasure.
Yes, she is.
You don't say. Well, she must be talented to improve on near perfection.
Oh, such a flattering tongue, Mr. Fordham.
I don't really want to compliment her further. I'm not trying to hit on her. Oh, should we?
You've really got a great sense of fashion and style. All the other Grand Dames must be jealous.
Oh, you.
Oh, you.
Can I just say you've got the most radiant smile I've ever seen?
Oh, why, that's very sweet of you, Mr. Fordham.
It's true. Not many women your age still have all their teeth intact.
I beg your pardon.
Oof.
I didn't know you were such a master of the high kick, Miles. You got your foot in your mouth in record time.
I just meant... You know what? Never mind. Thanks for your time. I'll let you get back to your drink.
Thanks, sweetheart.
Oh, that was such a swing and a miss, Miles.
I may have more questions for you later.
I can scarcely contain my excitement.
Don't worry, I'll find other ways to insult your age. You're old. There.
I didn't imagine we'd be coming back here in this lifetime.
Fordham? Have you solved the case already?
Don't I wish? I haven't even gotten started.
Well, I'm here if you need anything. Just be sure not to let Snelling see you.
Is he back yet?
He arrived a few minutes ago. I expect he'll be sequestered in his office today, so you shouldn't have to worry too much.
Good to know.
Sure was nice when that sign didn't apply to us.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks not having authorization to go places. It's such an impediment to our good detective solving skills.
The old Jack and Stars.
The old Jack and Stars. Alright.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone reading those books. I'm half convinced they're purely decorative. Prime Minister Atwood, watching over the department with his signature scowl. Pretty sure that connects Upton to everyone on the police network, including Giles at the jail. Lucky her.
Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
Back to work, I see.
Yes, well, the coffee shop holiday had to end eventually. I'm gonna have to find someplace else to meet you. The higher-ups are getting suspicious.
To be honest, it was a bit wretched there. I won't miss it.
Well then, Mr. Big Bug, you can have the honor of choosing the next place. Under a bridge somewhere, perhaps.
Have you been able to find any leads on Bill's death?
Have you?
Not yet, no.
I've been looking, but I haven't been able to come up with anything either. There has to be a connection somewhere. Criminals don't usually just fall off the map.
Go back to that flower shop. Check it out again.
Any updates on the Harris baby?
He's back home and doing well thanks to you.
I'm glad to hear it.
You did an impressive job. I admit I was a bit concerned about how you'd fare after months of taking it easy. But I suppose detective work is like riding a bicycle.
It's a guaranteed way to end up with a broken arm.
It's not that hard, Bill.
I see the Gazette has caught wind of this supposed mass murderer.
Yes, Snelling has been positively fuming about it. Between that and the Lathan case being publicized on the same day, it's been a nightmare for the department.
Any idea how they got the information?
I don't think anyone in the department has spoken to the press. Maybe they just have some very good reporters.
So, is it serious? Should we be concerned?
3 murders is nothing to sneeze at, but all the victims have been men in Chumley. If that changes, then things might start getting urgent.
Isn't that just the way of things? You can bet they'd have already caught the bastard if the first body had turned up in Leon.
I'm having some trouble with Officer Parsons.
You and everyone else who's ever met him. What's the problem?
He's keeping me away from the Lathan crime scene.
Of course. He's one of the most loyal to Snelling.
Any suggestions for how I might get him away so I can look around?
I might have an idea. There are several reported crimes that haven't been assigned yet, and Parsons is itching to prove his investigative chops. He'd probably abandon his post for a good enough lead and the chance to impress Snelling.
Upton, oh good, you impress me.
Department politics are something of a specialty of mine.
Up to no good. That's hilarious.
About getting Parsons away from the crime scene?
All right, these are the, as of yet, unassigned crimes. The body of a young man was found in the Hodgman River by the Gascon docks this morning. A woman named Chumley reported hearing a single gunshot in her neighbor's apartment last night. There was a deadly explosion at a factory in Worcester that may be linked to sabotage. And that's it for right now. Any of those strike your fancy?
Well, the reported gunshot might be another mass murderer thingy, because that's how the men in Chumley were killed. Let's hear about this gunshot.
Let's hear about the gunshot.
Ethel Williamson reported hearing a sound she described as a single gunshot coming from her neighbor's apartment last night. She said she had been hearing arguments over the past several weeks, and there may have been domestic violence involved. When she knocked on the door, she got no answer, but she said she noticed the distinct smell of flowers.
Intriguing.
Do you think Parsons will be interested?
I think I will be interested. But let's go with that one.
Sounds good. Let's go with that one.
All right, I'll send out the report as soon as we're done talking.
Have a moment to go over my current case?
I'm afraid you're on your own this time, Fordham. The walls have ears around here. If they find out I'm helping you, it won't end well for either of us.
Understood.
I'll still be here when you've solved it, though.
That's it for now.
Better get back to it, then.
Alrighty then. Thanks for all the help, Upton. Now back to the crime scene. Let's see this spontaneous combusted woman. And he's gone.
Looks like Parsons took the bait. Now maybe we can finally have a look around the crime scene.
Begging your pardon, officer.
Yes, what is it, sir?
Do you enjoy working with Officer Parsons?
If I'm being honest, he can be a bit much sometimes.
Trust me, you're not the only one who feels that way. I didn't have much interaction with him when I was a detective, but the few times I did weren't very pleasant.
I could tell he doesn't seem to care much for you. Although I don't think he cares much for anyone except the chief, and that's only because he's the one who gives out the promotions.
What was Chief Snelling doing here?
He was inspecting the crime scene.
Yes, but why was he involved? Is there something special about it that would require the chief of police to look into it?
Well, someone thought it might be related to the big case we're not supposed to talk about.
Oh.
You mean the mass murderer?
Yes, sir. I could see why the chief is upset that the news has gotten out.
And is it related?
No, I don't believe so. But the news reports have been getting the public on edge.
Of course. The less information there is, the easier it is for rumors to start spreading.
Exactly. Chief Snelling has a lot of fires to put out.
If that's the case, it's too bad he didn't get to Miss Lathan in time.
Oh, Bill. Naughty. That's not funny, Bill. Well, that's only slightly funny.
Is there anything you can tell me about Desiree Lathan?
I couldn't really say.
Come now, I'm trying to help this investigation. Any small detail would be useful.
Well, I haven't really looked over the crime scene too much. It's rather gruesome, you see.
Is the body still here?
Yes, what's left of it at any rate. Miss Lathan was only identified by the tattoo on her foot.
I see.
Can you let me take a look?
Has there been much progress here?
Snelling and Parsons examined the scene, that's all I know.
Do you think I might have a look, now that the initial investigation's been conducted?
I'm afraid that's out of the question, sir. I have my orders.
I'll be in and out before you know it. I'll leave no more trace than a ghost.
If Parsons were to catch you, my career would be over.
Trust me, he won't be back for some time. I swear on my honor as a former member of the New Britannia Police.
All right, I suppose you can go in for a moment, but please be quick about it.
Thank you, Officer Kane. I promise this will stay between us.
I just love rookie officers. They're so gullible. I once got one to shine my shoes for a week after convincing him it was department policy. Good times.
Thanks for your time, officer.
Not a problem.
Oh, Bill, you shouldn't have used your power for that. Good guy, Kane. I'm just gonna save in case it is timed. If I really have to hurry. Just want to make sure I'm inspecting just about everything. Oh.
That's certainly a pungent aroma. I can see why the officer stuck to the living room.
Surprisingly modest quarters for a grande dame. You'd never guess she could buy out the likes of you and me 1,000 times over.
She looks pretty well done.
Doesn't look as though this fireplace has been used in a long time. I suppose we can rule it out as the source.
Yeah.
As much as I like this painting, this isn't the time for art appreciation. It looks as though Miss Lathan was in the middle of writing something.
It's an article for Brentwell magazine.
Igniting the fires within. A bit on the nose, wouldn't you say?
A little.
Classic Brentwell. They have a reputation for making their writers go to extremes for their articles, all for the sake of entertainment.
Perhaps we should pay their offices a visit, see exactly what it was Miss Lathan was doing for them.
We're all familiar with the idea of an inner fire. A term usually applied to our sense of passion or determination, but what if the inner fire was a more physical nature? That is to say, if each of us had the capability to light a real fire within our bodies, well, I think she succeeded.
Some crumpled up letters. They look to be of the romantic variety.
They're from the same person, one Peter Andrews.
It's always sad to see a case of unrequited love. I'm thinking we should find out who this Peter Andrews is.
Good idea. Now, are you finally willing to admit that looking through rubbish does yield results sometimes?
Fine, you win. But I don't think I envy your prize.
Dearest Desiree, I offer you my heart, though I'm sadly unable to offer you my hand. Oh, that circumstances were different. Why must life and love both be so cruel? I must continue to love and admire you from afar. I can only hope these feelings are mutual. I don't know, man. They don't seem to be. My dearest Desiree, once again I must declare my love for you. Though you have not yet responded to any of my letters, I maintain hope that you care for me as I do for you. I remain ever faithful. Call upon me and I will I will go to your side. We will embrace as Mr. and Mrs. Andrews at long last. Oh, Peter. Peter.
Nothing else of interest in there.
You don't know that, Bill.
That's a nice portrait of Miss Lathan. Too bad it was damaged by the fire. The area where the artist's signature should be has been singed and is unreadable. Too bad.
But the date is still legible. It's from this year.
Okay, from this year.
Looks like this one barely managed to survive. Pity. It looked like a nice work of art.
There's a letter in here.
This just keeps getting more and more interesting. The law firm of Usher and Price isn't too far from here. I think it's definitely worth paying him a little visit.
This letter is to inform you that we have received your request to make changes to your beneficiary as indicated in your last will and testament. Please come to the law offices of Usher and Price so that we may review the documents and make the necessary edits. Jonas Usher. Interesting.
Nothing else of interest in there. Odd. Another pile of ashes under the bed. Looks as though whatever she kept underneath got burned too. Or it could be that whatever was under the bed is what caught fire in the first place. Although, there's no evidence of what started it. All that's left is a small piece of cloth. Might as well take it.
The cloth appears to have some oily residue on it. Interesting.
Something that would catch fire, I presume?
Just a pile of ashes. They can't tell us much more than we already know.
Alright, let's take a look at the late Miss Latham. Oh my.
Ashes to ashes and all that. I'm glad I was buried. Cremation always seemed a bit too hot to handle.
Now's not the time for jokes, Bill.
Are you serious? Death is the best time for jokes. Otherwise, it's all just a bunch of boo-hoo-hoo this and wah-wah-wah that. And trust me, there's plenty of that in life. Hell, you'd know better than anyone.
All right. Just shut it for a bit while I look over the crime scene, would you? I need to concentrate.
Well, it appears that she didn't burn completely. She forgot her legs and her hand.
Alas, poor Desiree, a woman of infinite riches, of tastes most fancy. Where's all your money now? Come to think of it, that question might be worth answering.
You know what? We should get back to that, Bill.
Ugh, greasy, fetid, stinking ashes. Who knew the human body was capable of producing such a disgusting byproduct?
I'm surprised the coroner hasn't taken the body away yet.
Probably because there isn't much of a body left to take. Either that or Dr. Edwards knows better than to deal with something like this.
That's extremely unlike him. He'd jump at the chance to examine this body. Perhaps we should allow him the pleasure.
I hope you're not suggesting what I think you're suggesting.
What is he suggest? Are we gonna take the body? We're gonna steal some ashes. Oh boy.
I don't think Desiree will be able to give us a hand with this investigation.
Bill?
What? I thought it was funny.
It was a little funny, but so inappropriate, but a little funny.
This one's clean. Well, aside from the fact that the rest of the leg is burned off. There's a tattoo on her ankle. It says, "Dancing through life." Hate to break it to her, but that dance is over.
Oh god. I'm gonna take some ashes to go.
Miles, do you really want to go carrying around those stinking ashes in your pocket? It'll take ages to get the smell out.
Good point. I'll need to find something to carry them in.
Just use the oily rag.
Miles...
Well, pretty gnarly scene. Pretty gnarly indeed.
Was there someone else in the room just now? I thought I heard you talking.
Oh, no. It's just sometimes I think aloud when investigating crime scenes.
I see.
Good save. We don't need any more police officers thinking you're insane.
Nope. I am as sane as possible. Shut up, Bill.